Hey, we're live.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hugo.
I'm Jake.
And this is this is Bible Reloaded. I forgot what we were for a second. This is the October Patron Live show. Thanks, everyone who is here live.
Usually it fills in slow
Yeah.
on these patron things because only a few of you have the link.
Yeah. So feel free to ask us questions, comments, whatever in the chat, and we will get to them as they come. So what is new in our world? Well, we got this lovely love seat, as all of you have seen in the past few videos.
Getting a cork board soon. I cleaned up a bunch of we had a bunch of art laying around. It's actually over in the corner here to decide what we wanted to do, but I needed to move the lights back, so got that going. It's nice and soft in here, acoustically pleasing. Getting better.
I guess.
Looking forward to the mic we're going to be able to buy soon.
Yeah, I'm sick of this thing sitting in the middle of the frame. This is fucking annoying. I'm sure you people are sick of it. We're going to get rid of it as soon as we can.
Yeah, I might actually want to go to Guitar Center or something this week and test them out, or is it too expensive there?
They're so overpriced. We can go look at Guitar Center if you want.
And then order it on Amazon.
Order it on Amazon. But
nice.
I wouldn't buy from Guitar Center. Sorry, Guitar Center. Questions. Ask them.
I don't know if anyone could possibly hear that. Yeah, he told you to ask questions. Well, you got a beverage.
Yeah. It's a Pepsi.
I forgot. What else is going on new?
We're looking for a movie to do next week. That's for sure.
I have 3 movies, but I think we want to do something fun and not frustrating, so we should probably do a kid show.
Maybe. You remember that? Remember
actually, how about we have you guys help us pick what we're going to do? I'll bring it up in about 15-20 minutes while people fill in, and then everybody can try to help us out. What were you saying?
I was going to say, remember that movie we watched right before I moved into the house?
Pilgrim's Path thing? Oh, we could do that.
We could do that. That was pretty entertaining. I don't know if any
I'd rather do a long viewing of that almost, though, because it's so rich.
Like, you want to do a first viewing type thing, but it wouldn't be our first
second
second viewing type thing?
Just Hugo and Jake watch.
Maybe.
This rip-off of Pilgrim's Path.
Maybe. Someone, Hymnalysis says, please do Escape from Hell. We still got to do Escape from Hell. That's supposed to be really good, too. I've seen the trailer for it.
Is that a serious one, though?
No, well,
John Hagee.
The movie thinks it's serious. I'll put it that way.
I don't know if I'm necessarily into, like, rebutting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you want to do something,
I don't know if it, yeah, I'm thinking something fun and lighthearted.
Okay.
Because we tend to delve pretty deep when we do these things, and the last one was a lot.
Then there's either a sentient book, a singing computer, or a purple spandex hero we're probably going to be seeing next week.
Well, we also have 2 things we haven't done, which is McGee and Me and VeggieTales.
Oh, McGee and Me would be good.
And then there's other, I mean, you have a PureFlix account, so it's not like we couldn't rip any of the PureFlix account things. Yeah. I mean, purchase them.
Also, we should you and I should have just a bad movie night with our girlfriends, so we can pick some movies and stuff. That'd be fun. Remember when we watched Batman 66 and you hadn't really seen it?
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Sometimes you just can't get rid of some days you just can't get rid of a bum.
Yeah. There's a kids cartoon where they traveled back to biblical times. Can't remember the name of it.
Sounds familiar too.
I remember that show because I watched it in Sunday school. A lot of these shows I watched in Sunday school.
Was it live action or
cartoon?
Cartoon. It was cartoon.
Yeah.
I feel like someone gave it to me on Twitter the other day, a YouTube link, and I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
You should find it and write it down.
I know, right?
Or if someone else out there knows.
If you guys know the name of this, that'd be great. Don't know if it's worth making fun of. Everything is worth making fun of. Yeah, they're good times.
What else is going on?
I'm trying to think of.
We got the Chick Tracks to be sent out, sitting right over there.
Yeah, they just got delivered yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
did you want to show them the?
Sure, they're right there in that box. If you haven't gotten your stuff yet, because it just got sent out, it should be there soon. Probably Monday if it hasn't gotten to you today. But we sent Harold Penisman guns out. There's tiny guns, and they say Freedom Drugs, tiny guns on the side, and they're little squirt guns, and they actually look like an actual gun, which is fun. I'm glad they didn't get painted black, because I would hate for, I don't know, one of our ethnic fans to get shot dead by the police for having a toy gun. Ooh, coming out with a hot take, Jake. Hot take.
You're not wrong.
I know. Yeah, the Junkyard Slave Boy. That's what we were talking about. It was the
It's based on Pilgrim's Progress.
Pilgrim's Progress, not Pilgrim's Path.
No.
Okay. What the fuck was that called?
Oh, and someone says Superbook. I've never really watched Superbook. I know other people have done Superbook, and Superbook is not happy about it. And by the way, analysis. Yeah, I'll check my Twitter DMs. What was I saying? Oh, I don't know anything about Superbook though. Is it really, really bad? I've never watched it.
That's the one on the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he gets super pissed off. I think it's a guy. He gets super
not that
pissed
I care
off.
that he gets pissed off.
No,
I
know,
saying,
but I'm just saying,
is it worth doing? Is it good material?
Like, if he tries to DMCA, do we really want to deal with that?
Yeah.
If it was good material, it'd be worth it.
Yeah. What else?
Superbook, yeah. So, what the fuck was I gonna say? What the fuck? I was just gonna say something, and you talked about the guns. Oh, podcast stuff starting soon. I probed yesterday for people that want to be guests, and people you guys want to see, and I got a lot of response. I actually have. I don't want to announce it yet because we actually haven't made official travel plans, but we have a really, really fucking cool opportunity coming up, which should be a lot of fun. I texted you about it yesterday,
yeah,
and so that could be. I don't know if it'll be like world breaking, but it'll certainly be a lot of fun and interesting content for you guys that we haven't ever done before. Yeah. So really looking forward to that. I'm really excited about the podcast. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you think we should do it at the desk at Hugo's house? Because basically it'd be a sit down conversation with another person. Of course, they'd be across the internet and we'd just jumble back and forth, or have a picture-in-picture sort of dealio. I don't know. I think that'd probably it'd make more sense visually,
maybe.
But we're kind of far away in that shot, so we'd have to get a different lens
and
some
different stuff.
Because this lens right here kind of pushes us.
Well, I mean, this is literally like an HD webcam, so it has a very shallow focus range.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. But you do have that other camera that might work.
It works. I just got to find the charger for the battery pack, which I could probably buy a second charger.
We should probably just do that and see what happens. That way we can try to use it.
Yeah.
But
it's a real camera with an actual lens and everything.
I know. So we're very close to upgrading everything now that we have houses.
That was a pain.
Yeah, and I just calculated bills and stuff, so we should be good to go.
We're good. It's just we were uprooted.
I was very uprooted.
You were more uprooted than me, but
I was so fucking uprooted. But yeah,
a lot of things were up in the air for a while.
Yeah,
it was a pain to deal with all of them and juggle.
It was. I'm trying to think of what else we got going on. Thanks to you guys, we are very close to having the Harold Penisman show.
Yeah,
that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
We were just talking with our, I guess, art department.
Our art department, which is my girlfriend. She does a lot of good arts. So she's Legend of Phoenix down in the comments there, if you didn't notice. She's got the red hair. Yes, at the desk at Hugo's. I kind of think so, too. It makes it more interviewee with the desk, right?
I guess.
Yeah, and it'd be kind of like a just us bullshitting. Not necessarily any particular topic. Like we wouldn't have person X on for topic X. It'd be, have you seen the Joe Rogan Experience, which actually is live right now? It's in my head kind of like that, where maybe if they want to talk about something, we absolutely will. But it's kind of like we wouldn't, the title of it would just be Hugo and Jake. I don't know who Matt Jarbo said he wanted to be on. So Hugo and Jake, Matt Jarbo. Hugo and Jake number blank, Matt Jarbo, or Matt Jarbo, whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And then we just talk, and if it happened to end up being about movies or whatever, that wouldn't be in the tags or anything. That'd just be part of the conversation. I think that'd be a lot of fun because I talk to people all the time that I think are super interesting. Poisoning the Well would be really fun to just sit down and bullshit with. We also have a thing in the works with them, but because of the uprootedness of our lives the past like 4 months, that got put on hold. But also Pat just got married. Congrats, Pat.
Except maybe even better than Joe Rogan, please. I've never sat down and actually watched the Joe Rogan podcast.
He's good
so I don't know
at times, but he tends to get high as fuck. And I don't know, kind of. He forgets what the conversation is sometimes.
he literally gets high before the show and like
during
the show.
Yeah, he lives in California. It's but when he's on, it's a really good conversation.
Oh God, I can't even imagine trying to do an interview.
He's done over 1,000.
I understand that, but at a certain point, it's like there's.
No, I agree. Yeah, no, he does a good job though when he's on. Also, the production is nice, and I just kind of like. I like the setup. They're sitting across a desk, and they're in the same room, and it's I don't know, cool. But we don't live in a place where people would necessarily want to fly out all the time, so.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Do you guys have any people that you want to?
This person says Joe Rogan can also go off on tangents about conspiracy theories. Didn't he used to be like a moon conspiracy theorist? He used to think the moon landing wasn't real.
I think it was the moon, yeah. And he's also got Eddie Bravo is a friend of his that's on a lot that is an actual conspiracy theorist. But Joe typically bends around that and
he dabbles.
Is like, well, I mean, some stuff he's just like, no, that's bullshit. And he'll be like, he'll ask his producer. He asks his producer to do a lot of things, but he asks his producer to be like, okay, check the statistics on that. No, check this, check that source. So he's pretty good about that. But once you get him going, like the Alex Jones interview, he was just sitting back and watching Alex Jones talk about interdimensional child molesters and lizard people and shit. And it was like, come on, man. Yeah. So. By the way, Alex Jones, you are invited.
Alex Jones is the most. Do you think how much of Alex Jones is Alex Jones, and how much is he's doing it intentionally?
I think it used to be not as much as it is now. I think he's bought his own bullshit after a while.
Okay.
I think because he gets affirmation from his fan base,
feedback loop.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it started out like because he wasn't popular for a while, and then the Trump thing started happening, and even before that, he was gaining popularity, but he was still like, Alex Jones. And then the Trump thing happened and like Pizzagate and shit like that. And he could jump on those SJWs and then suddenly Alex Jones is credible ? Yeah, no. He actually believes in like even Paul Joseph Watson the other day. When he was talking about conspiracies about I was gonna say the Orlando shooter. There's so many shooters that I mistook the Orlando shooter for the Las Vegas shooter. The Las Vegas shooter, conspiracy theories about how many people there were, and the guy was a plant like Lee Harvey Oswald, and they killed him before any shot was even taken, and and Paul Watson is like, yeah, or maybe he was like fucked up, and Paul Joseph Watson is a nutbag, so that should tell you like how out there Alex Jones is when his second in command basically is like, no, I'm good. And he made those lips. If you guys haven't seen the last episode, the Jake Reeds, you really ought to. It was fun. It was a good time. Joe Rogan talking to Steven Crowder about weed is hilarious. So Joe Rogan is super pro weed, and Steven Crowder is like anti-weed, but he's trying not to say he's anti-weed, but he's anti-weed.
Why is he anti-weed? What's his reasoning?
There is none. He's Steven Crowder.
I'm saying,
I literally don't know.
What is like when asked? What does he say? Okay,
it's bad for you.
Well, I mean, a lot of things
criminals. You know what they say.
For you,
I agree. He's retarded.
Also, they're criminals because it's the thing is illegal. If it wasn't,
you
illegal,
don't say. Steven Crowder's not a smart man. I don't care what you guys say, but Joe Rogan gets so lit up about weed legalization, like he gets so upset.
I can understand why. I get upset about it not because I just want to smoke weed, but like I legitimately see the money wasted, the people's lives destroyed over nothing. It's like, I get the anger over that, but that's not my pet cause, I guess.
Turning the frickin' frog gay.
Yeah. What else has happened? Do you see any movies? What movies did we see?
I watched 1922 last night.
I watched 1922. However, I don't remember it. I was taking up Joe Rogan's cause last night. So
1922 is a fine movie. It was tension the movie, and I liked that. Yeah. It wasn't like a horror movie necessarily, although it didn't have a jump scare, but it had scenes where I could, if you are easily susceptible to that kind of stuff, you'd maybe be scared. But it was definitely, it's about a guy in 1922 who kills his wife along with his son and then deals with that for a year.
Kills his wife
with his son.
With the help of his son, not also killing his
son. He literally talks him into killing his mom with him. It's really interesting. And I can't remember his fucking name now. The actor, the guy who played the Punisher before
John Bernthal.
No, before John Bernthal.
Oh,
old Punisher. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he does a really good job in that movie. And then there's the senator lady from House of Cards is the lady that gets killed.
Yeah, and this is the second Stephen King thing that actually came out by Netflix this month. This and Gerald's Game, which is also very good. If you haven't seen Gerald's Game, check it out. We saw it. I guess we could talk about that a little bit.
We did a review on Unpop though.
Yeah, I guess
but it was good. If you haven't seen it, you should probably go see it. If you haven't seen our review of it, go check that out because that would be retreading old news, wouldn't it?
Hashtag fake news.
I got Steven Crowder also tried to bail on the interview when Joe wouldn't let him get his way without spouting BS statistics, especially after his assistant Googled them and called Steven out. Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter.
Who did?
Steven Crowder. Because one time I said, yeah, fuck liberals, like sarcastically.
Yeah.
Blocked. Steven Crowder, paragon of fucking free speech.
Someone says Blade Runner. I not only have not seen Blade Runner 2049 yet, I've never seen Blade Runner.
I have.
I've seen. I lie. I watched half of the theatrical cut and got bored and put it down.
I watched the extended it's not the director's cut.
Director's cut. Final cut.
Which is longest.
Which is the director's cut plus some extra stuff. Plus they color graded it differently.
Right. I don't know why people like Blade Runner. I think it's a pretty movie. I think the effects for the time make sense. The movie itself is poorly executed. Philip K. Dick is the writer of that, who did stuff like A Scanner Darkly and Minority Report and stuff like that.
By the way, there's this new show on Channel 4 in the UK called Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. It's literally an anthology sci-fi.
That's awesome.
And it's just all his stories, and Bryan Cranston's in it.
Oh, really?
I think he's a producer on it as well, which is why
I hope that shows up on Netflix at some point.
I think it will. But it's actually pretty interesting. I only watched a couple episodes, but that's pretty good if you're into Philip K. Dick and his stories.
Yeah, and sci-fi in general. He's just a really good sci-fi writer, but it's always sci-fi with a social implication, not just sci-fi for the sake of it, which I appreciate. Blade Runner.
Oh, sorry. Just before we get it, because I wanted to talk about it real quick. The first episode, speaking of it being social stuff, the first episode, I haven't read this story by him. It takes place in a society where technology isn't. It's such an interesting setting for a sci-fi story because normally sci-fi is high science.
Mm-hmm.
This sci-fi, it was low science. Communication technology has stagnated. The telegram has never been invented, anything like that, as far as I know.
Huh.
But what they use is psychics that can communicate and stuff, but they can also read people's thoughts, and the police are using them now. It's just become a law that they can use them on the force to mind read people and interrogate them. So it's kind of a commentary on privacy rights and
That's interesting. So Blade Runner is basically a story about what makes us human, which is a good premise. I think Ex Machina did a really good job of that, where they did the Turing test on some android thing. It was very good. Ava, that's her name. Also, the effects in that movie are fantastic, and two people from Star Wars are in it. Poe Dameron and Hux.
Yep.
And what a great movie. It's so simple too. It was probably a really low budget comparatively. It's just in a house, but
some of the most expensive thing about that movie was the effects.
Yeah, I agree. Or renting that house.
Yeah,
because there's a nice ass house. But
or the choreography in that dance scene, spectacular. Watch Ex Machina.
Yeah, it's a good movie. But Blade Runner, you just have Harrison Ford looking attractive, which is what he did back in the day. And although they reined him in, he's not Harrison Fordy. He's not like really charming and like, swashbuckling. He's sort of like quiet.
Well, it's noir.
No, I know it is, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. But then they film it in a way that you're like, oh, Harrison Ford.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like they do this similar shots where he like interacts with somebody. Like the beginning of it, he's eating noodles, and then he's like, people are behind him. He's like, you got to come with us. He's like, oh, blankety blank. And he has some quips, and then that ends. So they definitely knew it was Harrison Ford, but they didn't use him. And so they try to do tests, and I forget the name of the test they run in it. It's got its own name. Call it the Hansgruber test for now, because it's something German like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Creutzfeldt Freud or something. I don't know. And they try to decide if you are a replicant or not, and which is a android person that looks like a person. But the thing is, this group of replicants, because Blade Runners, for whatever reason they're called that, hunt these things down.
You know why?
Because it sounds
Blade
cool.
Runners, because it's a cool name
sounds
for the movie.
Cool. You hunts them down because they were murdering people and trying to go, but they only have a 4-year lifespan. So their goal is to get to a person that can fix that, and his goal is to stop them from killing more people, because they do kill a lot of people. I don't actually think they're innocent at all. And it kind of doesn't make you at all feel bad for them, because they're assholes, and they like kill a shit ton of people. Like they freeze an old man to death. They choke a guy, a really likable character at that. And then like the last conversation, I know that poetically it's good, but it meant nothing because the character was never established as an important person. So I don't get the love for Blade Runner. I haven't seen the new ones. That's not
the new one's supposedly amazing in its own right. Not only is it,
but I hear a lot of people saying also it's a bad movie.
Really?
Because for the same reasons. Because it's like up its own ass. Like, and it's like, I've seen Blade Runner 3 times.
Okay.
Tried.
I'll have to watch it and make my own judgment. I don't know.
It doesn't. The effects are fantastic though. Like if that's the reason you like Blade Runner, then I mean, granted, but like, because it's really good practical effects. Like they have the models and stuff, and very Star Wars Empire-esque minis, but with scope.
Yeah.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
So
it also kind of set the look for futuristic cities.
Absolutely.
For like a decade.
As a film, like the technical aspects of the film are fantastic. I think the acting and writing and the screenplay in general is just sort of like, it's nebulous at best.
I think it's kind of supposed to be.
No, I know, but I mean, I realize the concept, like you're supposed to come out of it thinking who's right, but they don't have enough dialogue to even, like, and there's one character, it's his partner, air quotes, and he leaves origami around.
Yep.
He has 2 scenes before his climactic scene, which is he leaves another origami, and that's just him letting Harrison Ford and replicant girl he fell in love with go.
Okay.
To know that he was there. But it doesn't mean anything because he's literally been in scenes for 30 seconds. So it means nothing because you're not like, oh, this guy's a badass. These guys have a relationship, and out of deference to Harrison Ford's character, he lets him go. No, it meant nothing. The way they show it means very little. It's kind of disappointing because I know that book is probably really good, and that moment probably meant a lot.
I thought the implication of him leaving a little like unicorn thing was supposed to be telling Decker he himself might be a replicant.
Maybe, but that's what a lot of people say. But yeah. They don't have any conversation about this.
Okay.
So,
well, Voight-Kampff test was the name of the test.
Voight-Kampff, thank you.
Yeah, and someone says non-Patreons can reach the stream. Yeah, I mean, that's the best we can do it if they find their way here. It's not
right, but like I only mention patrons in the Discord, and every time someone says that, it's like, yeah, if they happen to look at the patron-only Discord, which they can't talk in, they can only read, then they earned it. And it has to be on a day that, like, we put the information on there. I don't know.
Oh, have you watched any of the new Star Trek yet? Can we talk about Star Trek Discovery? Fuck.
No, haven't gotten to it.
Okay. What do you guys think of the new Star Trek Discovery? I'm actually curious what other people are saying about it because Jake hasn't seen it. I haven't anyone to talk to.
Also, the romance in Blade Runner felt forced and kind of creepy. He literally forces himself on the replicant that he's supposed to be in love with. Like, it's not like, and I'm making a joke. She tries to get away, and he holds her, and he says, "You want me." And,
it's a noir. That kind of shit is kind of in there.
No, I know, but it's like, it's more than like,
But you're not necessarily in a noir. You're not supposed to necessarily like the main character. Harrison Ford might be a scumbaggy
I'm not saying
bad
no,
dude.
Again, they don't. It's not because at the end you're supposed to feel sympathy for them. Clearly,
Again, I'd have to see it. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, it's poorly executed. If you want us to make us feel like he's a scumbag, and also we should feel bad for them, then you got to do it. You didn't do it. You didn't establish, like, none of the characters are really like important. It's super weird.
Should have done what George Lucas did and just name them obvious things, like that character he named something Sleazebagano. Episode 2, he's the guy selling death sticks.
He tells her to say that she wants him. Weird choice. Yeah. You want me. I want you. All right.
All right. What other shows?
Like, for instance, he's a little rapey in Temple of Doom. A little rapey.
When does he get rapey?
He goes, she is like, no, you want this. And then he's like, nah, fuck that. And then he goes in, and then she kind of fights him a little bit. And he's like, oh, come here. And he kind of forces her a little bit. But like that I can, like, I get it.
It's in an Indiana Jones, which is aping off adventure serials from the 40s.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
What else? Anyone seen The Orville, by the way? Have you watched The Orville at all?
I watch network TV, unless it's football.
It's okay. If you're looking for like I like Star Trek The Next Generation, but I want that, but like it doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like fan fiction, but it's, it is what it is. It's entertaining. There's actually a really good episode because there's a character. This would have been great if like in Star Trek Discovery, if this was an episode of that, I'd be like, wow, this is a good episode of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
It's a species, all men, all males.
Sure.
They only like 1 in every 50 million, I don't know, whatever, females is born. It's considered a birth defect because their species has bred out females.
Sure.
They're able to mate 2 men. Anyway, they have a baby, and they sit on the egg, and it hatches, and it's a girl. And the entire episode is they want to take the child back to the homeworld to have a sexual reassignment surgery done on it because it'll be the only female in the species of men.
Sure.
And the people on the crew are like, you can't do a sex reassignment surgery on a baby. And they're like, well, if a baby's born with a cleft palate in your species, you fix it immediately. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it didn't treat it like, it was like,
it was a good conversation.
Like there were jokes around it, but it was
Sure.
still the plot of the episode. They went to the home planet, and there was like a trial, and it was interesting. And I thought to myself, this is ruining it, but only because I need to point out it's
Sure.
actually a good show. I was like, oh, they're going to rule, you can't do the sex reassignment surgery because they even brought in the only other female on the entire planet they could find. They brought her in to talk, and she'd been living in the mountains for like years. And she's like, I'm glad I didn't have
Sure.
whatever. And it turns out she's like the best writer on the planet, and no one knew it was a woman the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, they're gonna
Yeah.
come back. No, they said, nope, mandatory sex reassignment surgery. And the end of the episode was just the 2 dads who by this point had their own minds changed, so they didn't want the sex change surgery
Sure.
now, but now they had to. They kind of look over the now boy, and they're like, what are we going to do now? And they go, we'll love him the best that we can. And it just kind of, the ship and credits start to roll. And I was
That's
like,
a good ass episode.
oh, it had things to say about gender roles and how much of it is genetics versus how much is social,
That's a good idea.
It was a good episode.
And what happens when you're forced or not allowed? And
yeah. Oh, and someone calls it Seth MacFarlane's fanboy self-insertion into the Star Trek. Oh, I get it. Seth MacFarlane's the worst part of the show. He needs to get the fuck off.
I think they should kill him.
I know he's the main character, so you can't. But like anyone else should have been the captain.
Yeah,
it's very.
To be fair, if you had Seth MacFarlane money and clout at Fox, wouldn't you insert yourself into something?
I get it, but at
Right.
a certain point, I was like, oh man, this would actually be a pretty good show if he wasn't self-inserting here.
Yeah, I get you.
Another thing I actually kind of appreciate, which doesn't get brought up a lot on Star Trek. Sure, sometimes Data will do like a Sherlock Holmes novel or something, but like pop culture of any time other than, then isn't really brought up. But like on the captain's desk in the Orville, he's got like a Kermit the Frog doll. Like,
oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Little things like that. Like, oh yeah, they would know there are certain things from today that would probably exist 100 years from now.
Like Coke.
Yeah, it's not a great show by any stretch, but it's a network show. It's fine. What else? What other shows are out? The Good Place. Oh, this actually ties into the Bible Reloaded because it's about the afterlife and stuff. There's a really good comedy out, made by the same writers of Parks and Rec.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those same people were working on The Office. So, it's called The Good Place. It's
on Netflix, right?
It is. The first season is now on Netflix, and the second season is on Hulu, as it's currently going. It's about this woman who gets sent to heaven by mistake. Essentially, she's a bad person, so she has to try and fit in with the other people there. It's very funny, so check that out.
I remember seeing the promos for that.
Yeah,
it's got a good cast too. If I remember correctly,
really, it does. Ted Danson's in it. He's hilarious.
Not enough Danson love in pop culture,
especially in season 2. I don't know especially in season 2, he's very funny. Between seasons 1 and seasons 2, there's a lot of changes that happen.
Sure.
And his character is much funner in season 2. I'm trying to think.
About what shows you've been watching?
Yeah, because then
I got Shadow of War.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I didn't want to get it until it was used because all the microtransaction stuff they were doing, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I haven't done anything. It doesn't even tell me to get microtransactions in the game ever.
Is it fun though? So far,
yeah,
have you played it?
It's fun. It's got a lot going. Like, so in the first game, you start out and you're like a guy and you do stealth missions, and then eventually you get into the Nemesis system and army building and shit like that. This just starts you off with that. And it's kind of cool. And there are tons of the variants on the enemies are really interesting, and there's lots of things to upgrade and get all the time. Like, you're always constantly getting something like as a reward. And if that's the way they want to do it, they do a good job of it. And they don't I have never once been like push notificationed into, hey, buy a loot box. It's just a thing you can choose at the main menu. I don't know. It's interesting for a thing with microtransactions. I've never known one to not push it. At least I haven't run into it yet. I just hear the one thing I hear, which I'm not deep enough in the game. I don't play enough of it to deal with it yet. I guess the very final mission is a bit of a grind unless you buy loot boxes. But I don't know that. I can't confirm that.
Oh, okay. We'll see. I'll wait another.
It's a fun ass game.
Next thing I'm picking up is Mario next week.
Yeah, Mario looks really good. I might pick that up too, but I'll probably wait till see what you see in it to see if it's good. Yeah. It's probably good. It's getting really ridiculous reviews, and Zelda was amazing. So I trust Nintendo again. It's weird.
Yeah.
I can't wait for more RPGs to come out though. I love Nintendo RPGs.
Yeah.
So. Also, Monster Hunter World. Coming out. That looked really cool.
It looked very weird, but I was into it.
Yeah.
Someone says no show beats The Price is Right. I like The Price is Right.
I like the old Price is Right with Bob Barker because I used to watch it with my grandma.
No, oh wait. I always confuse The Price is Right and Let's Make a Deal. They're so similar. I like Let's Make a Deal. You know why I like Let's Make a Deal? Price is Right involves numbers. Like, there's a strategy in Price is Right.
Sure.
Theoretically, you could get really good at it. Let's Make a Deal is the least game show ever, and simultaneously the most game show ever.
Okay, pitch me.
Because literally he goes,
sell me on this concept.
Wayne Brady's the host. I don't know if you know that. So imagine Wayne Brady.
That's Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady. And he comes up to you and says, All right.
Okay.
You from the audience, you've been randomly selected. You could either take this envelope in my hand or whatever's behind curtain number 2. And there's no reason you should choose one over the other at all. There's no indication. There's no clues. There's no pattern.
Is it literally that every time?
It's stuff like that. Or it's like, we have 3 doors. Pick a door. Or it's like, yeah, okay. It's just shit like that. And it's just watching people's lives get or destroyed.
Why destroyed?
Because like,
is it like an envelope? And so behind the door is like a jet ski. In the envelope is pay my tax debt.
Like, okay, jet ski, okay, now you won the jet ski. Now you can either take the jet ski, or I have another envelope in my pocket. Do you want this? And then you might take this, and then it's like literally nothing. So you had a jet ski for like a second, but you made a bad decision and it's gone. It's a little microcosm of life.
I feel like that's designed not to give people things.
Oh, probably. Oh, you know what? You're probably right. It probably was designed so they would say it ups the stakes and also will give people less shit because they'll often choose the other prize.
They'll choose to keep riding out their luck.
Yeah, you're probably right. Good for Let's Make a Deal. I like Let's Make a Deal. The best part about Let's Make a Deal
is right, man.
The best part about Let's Make a Deal is the end credits, though, because he does like he goes up to people in the audience, he's like, do you have a roll of quarters in your purse? I'll give you $100. And if they do, they get them. So we'll just go up to random people in the audience
for a roll of quarters. What?
Be like, do you have red makeup in your purse? Do you have a handkerchief in your pocket? Do you have? If you have blank, I'll give you $500 right now, and that's just the credits. So Let's Make a Deal.
So, do the audience members come with duffel bags filled with items?
I gotta imagine.
Like at a certain point, you're just like, "Oh, I'm prepared as fuck for this."
Probably, you'd think so.
And I'm gonna keep going to tapings because I assume the tickets are free. You just have to be on studio, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just walk in, and every day you're prepared. You could probably make a living off of Wayne Brady. At least for a week before he recognizes you.
Sure.
It'll be fun. Anyway, I'm more of a Price is Right guy.
Yeah.
Because I shop, so I like to know the prices of things, and I like I miss Bob Barker. Drew Carey's fine.
I think Drew Carey's a fine replacement if you have to have a replacement. He does a fine job.
I just like I love the wheel.
I want to see a Price is Right, but the only contestants are like multimillionaires. And I want to see how off their judgment is as far as price, or like politicians, or I don't know.
That would be amazing.
I want to see Price is Right with people who don't shop for themselves, basically.
That'd be great.
I want to see how distorted their...
Or Price is Right and it's teams. So you have normal people versus millionaires.
Sure.
And so like stage 1, how much are yachts? Stage 2, how much is like a house? Stage 3 are the groceries.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can we do a Price is Right that is basically a ripoff of Price is Right, except each round is different things? Sometimes it's...
Yeah.
We could Price is Right. We could change this enough that it's legally distinct.
I can't afford a Plinko though.
No.
The big Plinko board is next level.
We'll have to steal the Plinketto board from Red Letter Media.
Plinketo, nice.
Yeah, have you seen that?
That's yeah.
Okay.
The world needs more RPGs. By extension, the world needs more Kenneth. We need more Kenneth. That is soon. I think November was when we decided we were going to do that. Correct? Yeah, November is when the release date for the thing we want to do is.
Yeah. Someone says, if the world ended tomorrow and it was both of you guys stuck in a bunker with all the supplies you need, but you could only choose one show to watch forever, what would it be? Show and movie.
One show? Always Sunny is up there. Office.
I'd have to pick something really long.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, Always Sunny has 13, 14 seasons. The Office has 8, and they have like 30 episodes in there. Game of Thrones is pretty long. Breaking Bad's pretty long. Maybe Nova. Every Nova thing they've ever done.
That'd be a lot. That's what I'm trying to think. Doctor Who would kind of make sense.
Doctor Who, all of it? Yeah.
Yeah, because that would last a really long time.
I think we could not kill each other for a couple years watching Doctor Who together.
I'd either go Doctor Who or Star Trek The Next Generation. Or if I'm allowed, I'd just say all the Star Trek. But they're distinct series, so that's cheating. I'd say Next Generation if I got to pick.
What if you got to pick between Star Trek and Doctor Who? I think I go Doctor Who.
I'll go Doctor Who.
It's just got so much more going on, and I feel like the threads are more interesting.
Plus, with nothing else to watch, I'd probably really, really get into classic Who after a couple decades of nothing but that to watch.
Think about the trivia we'd know when we started to repopulate the Earth.
And then maybe by the time we get off the island, they're like, oh yeah, they brought Doctor Who back, and we'll have to watch all the new ones.
Off the island? No, it was the end of the world.
Oh, sorry. I got my metaphors mixed up. Oh, and what if it was a movie? What movie would you watch over and over again? Probably not Happy Gilmore, since you've watched that like 3 times in a row before.
No, it was 11.
Oh, it was 11 times.
Okay,
in a row,
so we'll tell the
back.
story about why I watched Happy Gilmore 11 times in a row. It was St. Patrick's Day in 2006, and I remember that because I was a senior in high school. And so my buddy Ryan wanted to drive up. I'm 90% sure he had a crush on this girl, and she didn't want anything to do with him. It was hilarious. And so we go up north a little bit to a cabin, and there's a bunch of our friends there. And it turns out, and this was before digital TV, of course, so it's a little cabin. And they had a VCR and 2 VHS tapes. One was the animated Cinderella, and one was Happy Gilmore. And other than that, we had no background noise ever at all. So we put on Happy Gilmore, and then we're like, fuck it, let's rewind it because we're drinking. And then we rewound it, and we just put it in a bunch. And it was just on, and it was 11 times in a row. And that's an hour and a half.
Can you quote verbatim things?
A lot
Happy
of it. Thankfully, it's been a decade, and I've lost some of it. But for a while, it was like, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And it's like, there's a lot. If you turned it on, it'd be bad.
That's not even the best Adam Sandler movie out of those movies. I think Billy Madison's funnier.
Billy Madison's decent. Big Daddy and Reign Over Me. Those are the best Adam Sandler movies.
Click is good.
Click is good.
Click is
I
good.
forgot about Click.
Funny people. Funny people.
What's the movie I would pick? The Lord of the Rings extended, or all of Star Wars.
Can we pick a series? If I'm picking a series, I'm saying the Marvel movies.
It's up there. Do we get the new ones every time they come out?
Probably not. Oh. If it's the end of the world, they're done.
I really can't think of any other. I'm trying to think of the longest series of movies of all time, and that was
James Bond, probably.
Oof, James Bond is hard.
Yeah, I don't like James Bond.
That's why I went with Lord of the Rings, because the extendeds are like fucking 4 hours long.
All right.
He needs to wear a red shirt. Talking of Seth MacFarlane on the Orville.
Yeah, I get it. He's kind of annoying.
You sound like he's annoying.
It has the same problem as A Million Ways to Die in the West. Is he just has no business.
I never saw that.
He has no business playing a leading.
I think he'd be a really good the best friend in a comedy movie.
Sure, and he can be funny. It's just he's not likable in a way you kind of need a main character on that kind of show. You need him to be likable,
right? Because he's so his diction is so biting, and he knows so many references to obscure shit, and he's always clearly trying to be clever.
Yeah, it's like almost it's annoying.
Yeah,
I get Yeah. And that could be a fine side character that other characters find annoying, but the fact that no one else is annoyed and you're annoyed, you go, oh, that's ill casted. Anyway,
he'd have been a good Spock, like a Spock analog, where he's the annoying character, and Captain Kirk analog is like, dude, fucking stop.
I don't want to see him try and act any harder than he's
already. He doesn't even
trying.
have to. He doesn't have to be an alien. I'm saying you could just have him be the guy that is always explaining things, and everybody else is like, will you stop it?
Okay, sure.
I think that would work a little bit better.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, Lord of the Rings reboot. That's stupid. I'm trying to think of any other things we've seen recently that have been fun, but I can't think of it.
I've still been watching that Room 104. It's fine.
I'm really excited for Stranger Things to come out soon.
Yeah, Mindhunter's great too.
Mindhunter was really good. I finished it. Did you finish it?
I did. I was surprised when it was done. I was like, oh shit, season 2 must be coming then.
Yeah.
I guess I thought Mindhunter was going to be a mini series for some reason.
It kind of looks like a mini series.
The trailer made it look like it was just going to be a mini series about this dude, profiling the serial killers. But no, it looks like season 2 is going to happen, and
it's a semi-fiction based on the real formation of the behavioral science unit within the FBI that profiles criminals and specifically serial killers, and that like all the serial killers they talk to are actually real
the
people.
one that they keep hinting to, but I mean, I'm assuming this will be the serial killer they get with these.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that the bind, strangle,
BTK?
BTK?
BTK was a Hispanic guy, but it might be.
Okay, because I know they mentioned when they had talked about it several times, the word bind had been used in some of the pictures he had in like one scene. You saw him with some pictures. It was pictures of someone bound.
It'd be
up.
Interesting if BTK was yeah, I'm super fascinated by serial killers. I don't know why, it's a little macabre, but I've always been just the mindset of these people is so not what I have. And they illustrate that here. By the way, and I mentioned this to you when we were talking about it, just because we're friends in real life. I really like that they don't talk down to the audience. Like you got to catch up to their vernacular. Yeah, because they would talk to each other with actual like behavioral science backgrounds and use the terminology and they have actual like ethics debates in the show about these things.
It was actually interesting because this is still near the end. One of something they do leads to the capture and arrest and confession of a killer. Yeah. And one of the people on the team who has a more academic background, they're not from law enforcement, they find problem with this and say, this guy's going to maybe get the chair now because of information I helped gather.
Right.
Is that ethically sound? Can I do that?
Right. And then there was also a thing where he had less to do with it than the other person who they felt was more responsible based on their profiling, even though technically the person that they did get physically perpetrated the crime. Right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. And so they had debates about that too. And also, I can't remember the actress's name, but the lady from Fringe, who's not Joshua Jackson. Joshua Jackson joke. And she does a really good job in that. And then I don't know if you haven't seen Mindhunter yet. I really suggest it. It's really, really fun.
You know why I appreciate it over other crime procedurals? It's not really a crime procedural, but it's the closest thing I could compare it to.
A little, yeah.
It takes sort of the idea of a crime procedural, but instead of having, episodic things where, me and my partner, we know everything. Sure. We're going to solve this.
They don't know a lot.
They're all in over their heads all the time. They're trying to develop this new system. They're trying to figure out how it works. They talk about it.
Oh, and the conversations they have with these serial killers are really, really good. Yeah. And the actors they got for them are very good at the things they're doing. Like specifically, why can't I remember the serial killer's name?
It's because it's not one of the most
Ed something, I believe.
Not Ed Gein.
It's not Ed Gein, no. He's in the 40s, I think, is when he did that. He is such a good actor for this specific role. I don't know if he does other things.
The scene where there's a scene.
The guy with the shoes. That was fun.
Not the guy with the shoes. The other one.
The sweary one.
The one who's kind of buddy with him and starts.
Yeah, that guy. That Ed
near
guy.
the end, there's a scene in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to.
That is so tense.
It's so tense.
Yeah.
And a character leaves the scene, and his feeling, you feel it. You're like, oh yeah, I would too.
So
check out Mindhunter.
I don't want to spoil anything. It's super good, and I'm trying to think. The
name of the show we're talking about is Mindhunter.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to think of the name. I can't think of it. But also the main character, is he autistic or like he comes? I think that's what they're getting at.
A little on the spectrum, just a touch.
He's definitely on it.
Very functional.
Well, also they have this analog with the other guy's son that might also be that, and they kind of like
this. This is bugging me.
I got a thing?
You got a hair that's gonna get in your eye.
Get it?
It's gone. You got it.
Okay.
I didn't want to touch your face.
Yes, you do.
Someone asks, are we going to review any VR games on Unpop? Yeah, probably. Speaking of VR, keep an eye on.
Before you had moved out of your apartment and into your house, we played
Super Hot.
We played Super Hot, but we also played that detective game, which was pretty fun.
Detective game.
And we played Office Simulator. Secret Agent.
Oh, I Expect You to Die.
I Expect You to Die, yeah. That was actually pretty fun. They do a good job. the way PlayStation VR works is you kind of press buttons to kind of zoop across the room instead of actually being like a walking thing, which is kind of weird. But the Vive looked cool.
Yes,
so that has cameras all up in the room, so be a lot of fun.
All right, we're probably gonna leave it about 8 minutes, by the way. So if anyone has any questions or things you want to say to us, now's the time.
Resident Evil 7, you played that on VR.
I have. I love Resident Evil 7. It's the best VR experience I've had because it doesn't feel like a tech demo. It feels like a full game that you're playing in VR.
Right.
And it's horror. I don't normally like horror games, but something about, I don't know why, but something about being in the VR makes it more bearable for me, but also less bearable in certain circumstances. Does that make sense? Because in a lot of ways, horror games I don't like because they're restricting. You're supposed to feel scared. There's jump scares, but
your controls are sluggish.
It's sluggish and weird. But in VR, you can continually be looking around you. You can be alert. The aiming makes a lot of sense because it's based on your head. So where you're looking is where your gun fires. So it's like very intuitive aiming. It feels like you're in a horror movie, but not as scary as you'd think. It gets a little action movie because there are
it's pretty cool
times when something will be chasing you down a hall, but maybe you're not out of ammo. Maybe you have a ton of ammo and you've been stockpiling it for this moment, and then it's like, oh, this isn't scary. This is, I feel accomplished because I get to turn around and
fuck that guy up. Yeah.
So it has a really nice balance of when you're supposed to feel scared and vulnerable, you do. But at moments when like you have the right weapon or you have enough ammo, you feel very accomplished for defeating whatever's coming after you.
Sure.
I'm stuck at the child part though, because creepy children creep me out, and there's a part where it's like a ghost child, and I'm on that part.
Oh, you're pretty far.
Yeah.
Have you seen how it ends?
No.
Oh, good. Cool.
Yeah. Although it's on PlayStation VR, which is a little blurry. I'm sure it's much better on Vive. Star Trek Bridge Crew. I've heard that's pretty good. I want to get that at some point.
You just press buttons and shit.
It's like scenarios play out, and you're at your console, and you got to do stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's like co-op though too, so you can work with other people who are on other. So maybe you're on tactical, and someone else is on comms, and someone else is the captain.
That's neat.
Yeah. Would you play Doom or Fallout 4 in VR? I'd love for Fallout 4 in VR. I'd actually probably play it more if I could play it in VR. And I know it's coming out for PC. I'll probably play it eventually, but maybe on the channel we'll do it eventually.
I like Fallout 4 by itself.
It's a bad Fallout.
I don't like it with its legacy attached to it, if that makes sense. It is a really fun game though. It's so disappointing at the same time. It's hard to detach myself from Fallout, the game where you can do whatever you want and be whatever you want, and and then Fallout 4, which is the game where you are what they give you.
Did you guys ever play Heavy Rain? I didn't.
I did.
You did.
I did. I really liked that. That was one of the first. Telltale does their games.
It's like it
did it before Telltale really did that. And it was really good because there were 4 main characters that you played. And they all had a different role in this serial killer case, and one of them was actually the father of the kid that got stolen. That was he was in an area where it was raining. It was raining, and the idea was that the kid was going to drown if you didn't get to him in time. And I accidentally got a character killed, so that story ended. And so there was some stuff I never got to do or didn't prevent. And so it has like a billion endings. I did save the kid, but it was really interesting. And when you're the detective, you feel like a detective. When you're a reporter, you feel like a reporter. There's another detective. Well, he's not a detective. He's a retired detective that's a private investigator. So you feel like him. And then the dad, you feel frantic like a dad would be looking for his fucking kid who knows a serial killer has him. So yeah, it's good shit. Bad English accents from French actors. Did they have bad English accents? I don't remember ever having accents. But to be fair, it came out a long time ago. That was like PlayStation 3.
It just says Jason.
I don't know what you mean. Is that? Oh, it was the kid's name, Jason. I feel like the kid's name was Jason. Okay, we got about 3 minutes. Is there anything else?
I don't know.
Hell yeah, I'm awake during a live stream for once. Well, you better ask your questions now because it's almost closed. It's almost ending. You showed up late. We have a bug.
Where?
Over there in the corner.
No, it's your house.
Yeah.
It's your bug. That bug is your legal property now.
Is that how that works? Anything that goes into my house is my legal property? I don't think you want me to have this power.
Yeah, I'm in the house. So that's actually, I should probably wait to state that until I leave.
Okay. Press X to Jason. The mother that helps the detective and the kids in Flashlight were particularly bad. I don't remember. Ages ago. I don't know how you guys remember that kind of shit. See? Bug.
Ooh, it's making like a terrible noise too. It's knocking into everything.
Dude, am I gonna have to fight this bug? Dude, we got a bug situation in here, guys.
It's a big beetle.
It's
it's smacking into everything. Can you hear it?
Code
it's
bug.
It's just failing
terribly.
Bug. That bug's self-esteem is just down the toilet right now. It hasn't even gotten up. It is done. All right, so
tomorrow we play D&D.
Very excited. Jake seems to indicate that something is in store for my character, potentially.
Well, you as a person.
Okay.
You'd really appreciate it as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm not a dog then.
Because then you wouldn't appreciate it?
Yeah, you said appreciate it.
You don't invite dogs to play D&D.
As opposed
That's
to
just
what
chaos.
Else? Yeah.
That's chaos.
Ooh, someone do dogs playing poker, but D&D.
Oh, God. Well, you can have Sarah do you a commission of
how much
dogs playing D&D.
How much would you charge me? Because now I kind of want that.
Sounds like $40 or so. Wait, no, I don't know. You'd have to ask her. Depends on the size.
200? Okay.
200.
I'll think about it.
200. Holy shit.
I kind of really, now that idea's in my head.
A dog, because I mean, the last person blew it up on a canvas about this big. She did a commission about she showed you, right? The magic playing. She did a bunch of magic characters for Magic the Gathering playing poker. So, and someone did that for about $200.
Maybe. If we do this long enough, you know what I will actually probably commission her to do?
What was that?
I will commission her to do us all around a D&D table, but it's not us, it's our characters, because I think that's fun.
But it would be your face, but in... Or
no, I want the characters
characters playing D&D.
Richie there. I
gotcha.
You know
I see.
I mean?
Yeah.
The idea.
Oh no! You turned our shit on. That'd be fun. Yeah, that'd be a good time. Jack Chick would not make a fantastic D&D player. Are you kidding me? He doesn't like D&D. He would hate it. How dare you?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a lot of fun. Maybe someday we'll get you guys in on that, but for now.
Yeah. So I guess that's it.
Yeah. All right, lots of comments on your vids about the history of religion. I think about anyone cares. So, well, yeah, you unsold me at the end of that. Have high self-esteem. Enjoy your work. And do your best.
Yep. So thanks, everyone, for all your support, as always.
Yep.
We really appreciate it.
And if you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching this, which most people do, you're watching this after the live stream, try to come because we'd love to interact with you more. I love you.
I love you guys, too.
I'm Hugo.
No, you're not.
What if I want to be?
You'd have to probably take my skin off, tan it, turn it into a Hugo suit.
The face will fit.